Hi everyone, welcome to the Hickson Diaries, where we talk about my life here as an American living in the UK. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be raw and I'm going to not edit it at all. And I wanted to talk about, I really just wanted to reflect a little bit. Recently, one of my older videos that I shot when I first got here to the UK is picking up some momentum, and I rewatched it recently because of that, and I wanted to reflect on it. So the video, I'm going to put it up here in the link up here. I'll put it in the description box as well. It's about explaining from that perspective of just arriving here, why we left the United States to move here to the UK, and the primary reason was the gun culture and the lack of healthcare or viable healthcare. And I just, being here now almost 2 years, I just wanted to kind of give a perspective from now, this point in my life, on those issues and on why we left. Not taking anything away from that video, because everything I said in that video is 100% true, and they still ring true even today. But in that video, I talk a lot about how the life in America, when it came to healthcare and saving for the future and saving for retirement, you kind of have to choose. If you get sick, you kind of have to choose whether or not you want to have a good retirement or you're going to be healthy. And those things shouldn't be choices. Like, you should be able to retire with dignity and be as healthy as possible, or at least have access to medicine and things that will keep you healthy without having to give up something like retirement. But the culture in America is just so work-oriented, and everything as far as healthcare is tied to profit rather than actually caring for people and giving them a healthy life, that it's also tied to your job. So you have to work really hard in order to keep your benefits, and you have to pay more and more every year for the premium, which is basically what you pay into the insurance system. And then you have to also, in most cases, you get a bill after the fact that you have to pay for. So you have to have your job in all those senses. So you have to kind of be part of the rat race. And in retirement, it's all private retirement. It's not really a government retirement program other than Social Security, which they're talking about cutting in the current or in the new administration. I say the 2025 administration, Trump's administration. He's going to be inaugurated soon, or he has been. Depends on the date that I upload this video. But they're talking about cutting things like Social Security, which is basically your retirement that you pay into. This government-funded retirement that you pay into as an American throughout your entire working career. But now they're talking about cutting it, and you won't even have access to it. Someone like me, I wouldn't have had access to it if I still lived in America, even though I was paying into it since I was 18. I just kind of wanted to talk more, though. The other thing that I talked about leading with the gun culture, and how there were 2 incidents where my daughter's school actually got locked down because of an active gunman in the area. And they were very lucky. They didn't get anywhere near the school. It was a precautionary thing, and everyone, nobody got hurt. Everyone was safe, and the gunmen were, everybody was apprehended the way they were supposed to be, and without incident, at least as far as the school and the children were concerned. But like a month ago, there was just another mass shooting done in like Wisconsin, I think it was, in a school. I wanted to expand on it a little bit and also just kind of reflect and let you guys know kind of an update of where we are now. I definitely feel less anxious living here in the UK as far as 1 second, I'm losing my battery. Might be the absolute wrong time to do an unedited raw video. Anyway, I definitely feel less stressed and anxious about guns in general and violence in general being here in the UK, knowing that there is not an armed police officer in my daughter's school, knowing that there is not the possibility of anyone walking down the street having a gun, or any minor feud or traffic stop or anything like that resulting in some kind of gunplay, is a huge weight off of our shoulders. I am much more relaxed about things like that now. I don't have as much anxiety about going to cities or large gatherings or anything like that. That's fabulous. Not completely gone away, because there have been times when there's been a really bad thunder or like fireworks going off that I wasn't expecting, where it's kind of triggered me a little bit. And I realized that trauma that I was living under in America. Those moments are still a little anxiety ridden, and do kind of get me tense still, as an instinct, as an instant reflection on what's happening, until I realize that I'm in the UK and I can talk myself down and be like, no, it's just fireworks, it's just bad thunder, it's just somebody hitting something really hard outside, something like that. And I'm able to kind of just talk myself down and be calmer about it and realize that I'm actually safe and everybody's okay. That's great. That's an amazing feeling. That was something at the end of that video I know I was hoping that I would get to someday. I'm definitely not there where I don't have to think about it at all. And I don't know that as an American I ever will not think about guns and violence in that way, or at least be vigilant about it and, expect it. But it is definitely, my exposure anyway to the UK as I've been here so far has definitely been one that has been less exposure to guns and that culture and that form of violence, at least. I haven't had any run-ins with the police personally, but in all the conversations that I've had, it has been not so confrontational, at least from a police officer's perspective. It's been a lot more, let's calm the situation down, let's assess the situation, let's try to rectify the situation. And in America, that's a very different, it's a very different perspective from the police officer's standpoint. If I ever have an encounter with a policeman, I'll go into more detail about those comparisons in the future. Hopefully I'll never have to worry about that. But that's for a future video. Regarding the healthcare thing, it's a big deal in the UK right now, because the NHS, the wait times for the NHS have not really caught up since COVID, and everyone is still waiting a really long time for surgeries, for tests, for results and relief. And that is definitely unacceptable. It's definitely something that needs to be fixed, and it should be fixed soon. I don't know why it's not a priority. And in my personal private circles, a lot of people I know have the means and have been going private and have been touting that private's the better way to go. I am going to oppose that vehemently forever. Not that they have the option to do it and they have the means to do it, and they're going to do it, and that's fine. That is the way to go as far as privatizing all of healthcare and not having any kind of public healthcare for a national system. I'm never going to be for that at all. Having lived it my whole life, having had health issues under it, having family members that have had to go through it. One was a short-term sudden illness. One also being more than one, several being long-term illnesses that required long-term care and even in some cases end of life care. having a child in that system and having to witness and see and hear stories of people with chronic illnesses in that system and seeing how they have to ration their medicine between their grocery bills and their medicine or ration their medicine throughout the month because they can't afford it. The private healthcare, privatizing anything fully when it comes to public health services is never going to work. And so healthcare in America is a perfect example of that. Every year rates go up and up and up. Every year they're denying more and more people from actually giving them care. And every year the healthcare system gets worse. And I believe it was last year was the first year in decades where the life expectancy was actually less than previous generations. So it just goes to show you that a fully privatized system is never going to work. And I will vehemently oppose that and debate that till I die, most likely. And I'm very, very grateful to have the option of the NHS here. I pay the NHS through my taxes on my my monthly wages. And I also pay a premium with every visa that I pay. And it's not cheap. It's more actually. It actually costs more for the premium for the NHS than my actual visa application costs. But I'm happy to do it because I want to be a part of this system where if I get sick, and I have had a few illnesses since I've been here, I'm able to go and get help. I haven't personally experienced a lot of long wait times, and I haven't personally experienced anything where it was a negative experience. So for me, it's fabulous, the NHS system. But I know I am not I'm one sample out of a million samplings of a million different experiences. And I know a lot of people have had very bad experiences, especially when it came to the wait times, and it's extended their illnesses and things like that. And in some cases, it's taken theirs or their loved ones' lives. And that is awful and terrible. And I will definitely fight against that vehemently till I die as well. But the overall lifestyle here in England is just so much better, safer, and healthier in various ways. I could probably sit here for hours and tell you how many ways that it's better as far as keeping people healthy and keeping people safe. And being that those were the two biggest reasons that we left the United States, I am happy to report that almost 2 years later, it's still true, and it was definitely the right decision. I am trying to keep up with some of the news and stuff that's going on in the US. I'm still a citizen, I still vote, and I still have family and friends there. So it is still very important to me to know what's happening on their behalves. Also, I'm only a temporary resident at the moment, so there's always a chance that I'd have to go back there to live. So I would like to know what I'm getting into if that does happen. Fingers crossed. We don't have to worry about that in the future. But I can't deny that it is an option in the reality I'm living right now. So some of the things that I've seen and some of the rhetoric I've heard and some of the plans that I've seen from the new administration, and also, to be honest, some of the things or lack thereof of the old administration has led me to believe that it's going to get worse before it gets better in America, which also adds to the fact that it's definitely the better decision for my family to be able to leave England. To be able to leave America to live in England. And I really don't have much else to say except that with all its problems and all of the things that do need to be fixed and paid attention to and things that need to be dealt with here in the UK, I'm not naive. I know it's not utopia and there's tons of problems here too. With all those problems though, It's still safer, it's still healthier, and it's still a better environment to live in, to have a family in, to thrive in, and opportunity-wise than what's in the United States at the moment. And hopefully, the British culture will be able to find its path forward in a better light soon. And I'm pulling for you. Not just because I live here, but because I appreciate the culture that's here. And I know the British people, and you deserve it. Also, I just want to say, if there's any Americans that are watching this that are still living in the United States, I'm pulling for you guys too. Use your voice, whatever voice you have, and use whatever means are at your disposal to make your life better. Don't rely on someone else to do it. No one's going to come in and save you. Unfortunately, that's the reality that you're living in. You have to make whatever decisions that you need to make your life better. If it's moving out of state, moving out of country, if it's, changing jobs, or if it's just simplifying your lifestyle, whatever it is that you have to do, do it. No one's going to come and save you. No one's going to make it any better, at least on a national level, anytime soon. And if there's anything I can do to help, if you have any questions, if you're thinking about leaving, or if you want to know what it's like to live in some of the states I've lived in, or anything at all that you can think of that I might help or might have insight to, or might be able to point you in the right direction, please let me know. You can leave it in the comments below. If you want to do it more privately, I'll put my email address in a pinned comment below as well, and you can email me, and we can just have a private conversation if you'd prefer. Hang in there, whether you're in England, whether you're in the rest of the UK, whether you're in the United States, or you're seeing this from anywhere else in the world. Things are a little bit tough right now, but please hang in there. If you start making really deliberate choices about your life, you can find a path that makes your life better. And it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, and it's definitely not going to be without its obstacles. But you can do it, and it is out there. And we have to be, as a collective society, we have to be willing to hold our leaders more accountable as well. Because this is not great. And the way America is living right now is terrible. And the way that Britain is living right now can definitely be improved as well. And I hope that no matter where you are, that you're finding a positive path forward. I feel good about our decision. I feel confident that now more than ever that we made the right decision. And I hope that this helps somebody in the future or in the present, wherever you are in your life. Thank you all for listening. I'll talk to you soon.